Ay naku, kung sinagot mo lang sana ako, eh di sana ang cute na love story natin. Pero hindi eh. So that's what I want to tell this girl that I met way back 2011. And pretty much in my history, I fondly think of her as Prayer Zone. Because she gave me this rosary Christmas of 2012. And Cheeky, that cheeky little woman, gave her that name. So there are a lot of zones in this world. Apparently, I'm not just friend zone, I was prayer zone. So this is going to be a trip down memory lane, and we are going to be talking about Prayer Zone Girl. Now, this is the first girl who ever turned me down. Prior her, I had three girlfriends, and I only made discarte or ligaw with, if ever you could call that ligaw, to three women. So if you're gonna look at it, I had 100% batting rate. So every girl that I actually told my feelings to and told them of my intention of making them my girlfriend became my girlfriend. So imagine my disbelief when she turned me down because I felt like I had it all. And I also felt like she has some feelings for me. It's that it wasn't one sided. But, you know, assuming something makes an ass of you and me, and apparently I made a big ass out of myself. So this was way back 2012. Let's just rewind time, shall we? I was 26. I was never turned down by any woman. I was so sure of myself that I could get any girl I wanted. That when I met Prayer Zone Girl, I was so confident that this is going to be my next girlfriend. I was that confident about it. The thing is, everybody thought that we looked good together. Her friends think so, my friends think so. Actually, they all thought that we were already a couple or something's going on between us, like we have this agreement or something, but we really didn't have anything going on. It's just that we were so comfortable with each other. We were such good friends that we were kind of inseparable. So we were working under the same company, and we got to know each other because we were part of the events committee. I represented my account or my department, and she was representing her department. I barely knew her, but I don't know why. I just felt. Have you ever felt that everything was just clicking, everything was just going so smoothly, and feelings were just easily expressed and all that, and it's that's just it. You feel it. That's what happened between me and her. At least that's how I felt. So it came to a point that from total strangers, the week before, the next week, not a day went by that we did not talk. It even came to a point that it's not just once a day, it's not just twice a day, it was every time we had extra time on our hands. From the moment that we wake up before we sleep, even during in between breaks, even during our work, even in our emails. It was that kind of thing. And we were so comfortable talking about anything under the sun, like totally anything under the sun. And we were polar opposites of each other. She said na, glisera daw ako siya, mahal na mahal niyang wikang Tagalog. That's just one of the funny things that she actually tells me told people about us. Um, she was bisexual. First time we actually saw each other in the boardroom, I kind of felt like she was ingratiating herself to me, and it turns out that she said, amoy na amoy kita unang kita ko pa lang sa'yo. And I was like, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm freaking out. And that's where it all started. We were so close to each other. We it came to a point that we were inseparable. Despite that, the fact that she is from a different building and from a different department, you would see her in my building during her lunchtime just to eat, which is it's not really unheard of, but the frequency was starting to startle other people. So they began asking me, "Papadalas yata yan dito ah." And I was like, "Well, the food here in our building is actually better than their building." So we began to rationalize why we're spending so much time together. Until it came to a point that she told me straight up in my face. She looked me in the eye and said, "Jess, wag ka mai-inlove sa akin." I was like, I felt so incredulous. I was like, what the F are you talking about? I mean, why would I fall in love with you? It's like, and we ended up laughing until I came home and I realized that I was laughing so hard because I was in love with her already. And it was like a preemptive supalpal if you guys ever watched the Tales from the Friend Zone of Ramon Bautista. It was a preemptive supalpal right there and then. So we were already talking from texting the moment that we wake up and then, calling, we talking over the phone for hours at the time. It it became apparent that we liked each other. I mean, you don't really spend every single day talking to your friend for like 2 to 3 hours and then texting every now and then. So there was something going on. It's just that we cannot act on it because she was in a relationship with someone whom we never really talked about, but we talked about the, you know, what this significant other lacks. I don't know if it was a girl or if it was a guy. Remember, she was bisexual. At the end of the day, I felt like I was really falling for her. And before I really fell off the ledge or fell off the edge, I told her how I felt about her. And I told her that I wanted to forget the feelings for her, my feelings for her. It's just that I wasn't consistent. I told her I want to forget the feelings that I felt for her, but at the same time, I was still there, ever present. I made myself emotionally available for her. We were still sweet to each other, and that's the time when she cut off all communication because, if ever I wanted to move on, I wasn't moving on. So after that, few months passed. We're still in the same company, and then our paths cross each other's again. And this time we were both single. However, she was emotionally unavailable because there was a guy courting her already. So I realized that I still have feelings for her, and I also realized that there was a guy in the picture. And yeah, so needless to say, this is where the rosary comes in. It was Christmas, and we she told me that she wants to meet me, and I was like, okay, okay, let's meet up. And she gave me that rosary. And Chiki said, now, what? Hindi man lang yung, yung mabangong rosary from Vatican. No, it wasn't. It was just a plain white plastic rosary that some parish priest actually blessed. So, anyways, um, after that, I decided to move out of the company so that our paths will never cross. Little did I know, my friend had other plans. She made me a godmother to her youngest daughter, and she also made Prayer's own girl a godmother to that same child. So in short, we became kumares. Ain't that grand? And after that, she asked me out. No, it's not a date, but it was a date with the whole events committee. So we missed each other. It's like, hey, it's gonna be a big old grand reunion, and we were about to have Esau. I was surprised to see that it was only me and Prayer's own girl who was about to get Esau, and we also forgot that Mang Raul's the Esau place only caters to customers until 9:30, or rather 9 o'clock in the evening, and it was already 9:30, so it was already closed. We ended up eating in a tapsihan near my apartment, and she had a very nasty GERD attack. Now, during this time, she already left the vicinity. She was renting near my place before, and then she totally took off because she also left the company. She was already working somewhere in Ortigas, and she started going home to her house, which is in Bulacan, 60 kilometers away from my apartment or from the place that we were in. So she had a nasty GERD attack, and she had tons of friends scattered all over the place. But what she said was she needs to rest. So I was like, okay, you know what? Let's go. I'm going to take you home. I didn't care if it was like freaking 60 kilometers away, and I don't know where she lives. It's just that, well, if you're in love with someone, you could do really pretty stupid things, and that was my stupid thing. Anywho, she just suggested that, um, and I kid you not, she was really the one who said, no, let's just go to your apartment. I was like, okay. And then I realized, wait, my apartment, the apartment that I live in alone, you're gonna go to the apartment of this person who was totally into you, for all you know, has really nasty thoughts about you, indecent, nasty thoughts about you. And you're gonna be in such a state wherein you can't really say no or you can't defend yourself. Are you really sure? Of course, all of these conversations was going on inside my head, and she was like, "Let's go." I was like, "Okay." The moment we arrived in my apartment, I went straight up to my loft. Yes, my apartment had a loft. That's where I placed my bed and my cabinet. I made it into a makeshift bedroom. So I made sure that she would be comfortable, pillows arranged and all that. And since my mom drops by every now and then in my apartment, I also have an extra bedding, which is just a sofa bed. And I readied the sofa bed so that I could sleep there. And I told her, feel comfortable, take the bed. I don't want you to worry about anything. If you feel like you want water, she was my guest. I treated her like a guest. Make long story short, she just looked at me and said, "No, dito ka lang sa tabi ko." So I slept beside her. Sleep was really something that you can't describe. I mean, I can't say I was asleep because I did not sleep a wink that night. I mean, how could you? This is the girl that you have been thinking about, dreaming about for like almost a year, and she was there beside you, like freaking millimeters away from your touch. I'm telling you, if I were a guy, I would have freaking blue balls that time. But since I had principles, I did not even touch her hair. I mean, think about it. She was having a GERD attack, and what? I'm gonna make a pass at her? I mean, that is the most indecent thing that anyone can do. And anyways, I got principles. I don't believe in casual sex. I know it sounds cheesy, corny, but I really don't. I never had sex with anyone who was now my girlfriend. Needless to say, this was a girl that I was in love with, that I know I had lustful intentions, but I never touched a single hair on her because I know I won't get any consent. And anyways, it's not gonna happen because she's not my girlfriend. There's no commitment. Nothing's gonna happen. There you have it. And um, I guess the day after that, we went out. We actually spent time until almost afternoon, and then we did not talk to each other. So my friend said that I rejected her, that she was actually presenting herself to me, and I did not grab the opportunity to, you know. But the thing is, I can't. I had I told, totally respected her, and because of that, nothing's gonna happen. So there wasn't any clear rejection there. It was all implied, and that left us hanging. We had this cha-cha that we have between us, and it went on for almost 3 years. Without that clear, no, Jess, this is only up to what we can be, or in my case, no, I want this to continue further, or I don't want us to just be friends. There wasn't any clear intention between us. And that's what was really screwing us. So, what I'm trying to say here is I had feelings for her for like a long time, even when I already had a girlfriend. I still had feelings for her because I don't know. I never really heard her say, "Nah, no, Jess, this nothing's gonna happen between us, or nothing's gonna ever come out of this." And I'm a stubborn fuck, I guess. I just need to hear that no, stop, and I'm gonna respect that. Sure, I was never rejected before that, but she was the first person who ever friend zoned me, and you know what? We're still friends right now, and she's actually a godmother to my child. It's really a funny story, and every time that we talk about it, we just laugh. It's not really it really isn't a big deal if you think about it. Sure, rejecting someone is gonna be it doesn't feel good, and the person who will be receiving that rejection won't feel good either because come on, who likes rejection? But think of it in the bigger aspect, or look at it at the bigger picture. In the bigger picture, that person that you would reject, they might feel dejected, they might feel sad, they might even resent you, but knowing that nothing's going to happen, they're going to be moving on. So less stress for you, less stress for this person in the long run. Versus if you're just going to leave this person hanging, I mean, there's just going to be ill feelings between you guys, and it's going to be unresolved because there wasn't really any clear um, resolution to it. So there are only benefits to rejecting someone rightfully, or rejecting someone right there and then, straightforward, no beating around the bush, or not just leaving it hanging, versus just leaving it in the air. You're going to be dancing the cha cha for the longest time if you're just going to be leaving it in the air. So make everything clear. If you want to reject someone, or and you want to actually make them also feel that it's going to be beneficial, help them move on, just do it. Tell it to them straightforward. It's going to be very easy in the future. You know what? They might even thank you. So, yeah, go for it. just make sure that you really want to reject that person, right? Because you might, reject this person and then you're gonna regret it afterwards. So think about things really carefully, and once you are 100% sure that you don't see yourself with this person, let them know. And your adventure, their adventure, your lives, it's just gonna move forward. I'm positive.